Recently in the shop, we had a Mercedes CRD 3.0 diesel in the shop. And over the years, I've done several videos on these things, removing turbos, intakes, oil coolers, swirl valve deletes, you name it. Old Clayboy's done it if it involves the top of these engines. I've always had a little bit of trouble getting the fuel rails out and back in. This time, I actually took a little bit more time and figured out a process for actually doing it. So I wanted to show it to you folks. Now, I'm not showing you every single nut and bolt to take out. We're down to the fuel rail. We need to remove the fuel rail, but I am going to show you how to remove it and install it easily without breaking or bending anything, unlike other videos where I'm taking a pry bar and going all kind of crazy. So, check this out. Show you something you maybe didn't know. Remember, no matter what it is, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too. So I have to save myself from answering a bunch of questions. I've never had these lines leak once I removed them. I've never replaced them, so I'm not recommending that you need to replace them as well. Okay, so I've gotten down to my fuel rail, and I wanted to make this because Mercedes is so particular on how things go inside and how they fit together that I wanted to show you folks. So I wanted to deal with the complicated part, that in case you make the same mistakes that I've made in the past. So we've got 2 bolts removed from here. Now we want to keep these bolts separate because I believe these are 7mm. So make sure you don't mix them up with a bunch of the other 6mm bolts that go inside here. We've got our fuel lines loose, which are 18mm right here. Now what we first want to do is we want to pull the nut back, and then we want to pull that little clip out of there. We want to pull all the nuts back and pull the little, I'm assuming it's an alignment thing, pull them back as well. We pull these back so they're not impeding the movement of the fuel rail in the later process here. Not so much necessary to pull this one back on this side. Now, with everything loose, want to remove this glow plug connector right here and set that off to the side. The other 2 we can leave in place. We want to pull back on this side, pull back on this side. Once we do that, down here, we can remove that one, and that will come out of there easily. So when we go to reinstall it, we can put it on here. Now we just need to push down on the rocker clip, and that'll allow us to remove the electrical connector on the rear of the fuel rail if we need to completely remove it. In my situation, I don't need to completely remove the fuel rail, I just need to set it off to the side. Now to reinstall the fuel rail, I'm going to start by connecting the center crossover line first, then I'm going to connect the one closest to me, and then reinsert the other 2 along the edge, swinging it up into position. After that is done, I'm going to connect my glow plug and tighten down my line nuts, and I'm good to go. Now we want to make sure that we install our bolts and everything before we start securing everything down and tightening it up. And if you need to remove the other side over here, quite simply, you're going to take off this bracket here and remove the 18mm nuts that are on there. And with this removed here from this side, it'll allow you to get that side out pretty easy. So hopefully that helped you folks out. That was a good procedure for me to learn and put in video form so I don't forget later on. Just remember, no matter what it is in life, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too. If you've got a question for me, you can hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I try to answer everybody's questions that I possibly can for absolutely free. Remember, don't be the next to them, be the very first to you. God bless and have the best of days.